Volvo has sprung a real surprise on Mercedes-Benz with the launch of this vehicle, the XC40 Recharge Pure Electric, a small SUV that will knock over 0 to 100 km/h in 4.9 seconds, which is way faster than the Benz EQA 250. But is there more to this car than just performance? Let's take a closer look. Conventional petrol and diesel variants of the XC40 have been on sale in Australia for 3 years, and recently Volvo dropped its diesel variants, replacing them with a plug-in hybrid. Now, with the release of this new battery electric XC40, it takes CO2 emissions reduction one step further again, and at a price that we're tipping probably hasn't been well received at the Aussie HQ for Mercedes-Benz. At first glance, the Volvo XC40 Recharge Pure Electric resembles its internal combustion and plug-in hybrid counterparts. The visual cue that gives it away is the blanked-off grille. There's no petrol engine or radiator under the bonnet that requires airflow from outside. Naturally too, there's no filler flap for a petrol tank with this car. The wheels are essentially the same 20-inch units shared with the plug-in hybrid XC40. Under the bonnet, there's no sign of the 150 kilowatt electric motor that powers the front wheels, just all this glorious black plastic and storage for the recharging lead. The XC40 uses just one reduction gear for each motor, with 660 Newton meters on tap from parking speeds. Volvo claims a range of 418 kilometres, which is okay, but not when you look at it in the context of a 78 kilowatt hour battery. From first impressions, the Volvo XC40 Recharge Pure Electric behind the wheel is much like any other XC40. It's a very plush interior, exceptionally comfortable seats. Everything is very nicely laid out as well. You've got your basic audio controls here, plus climate controls here, and the very large portrait-style infotainment system. It's a very comfortable, practical package with just a few quirks regarding drilling down for different functions. The XC40 delivers very stylish looks and a luxurious ambience. Buyers get the leather upholstery already mentioned, plus dual-zone climate control and a Harman Kardon audio system. When it comes to storage, relatively large door bins accommodate bigger drink bottles. And for such a small SUV, there's unexpectedly generous storage space for knickknacks. Volvo long ago led the way with portrait format infotainment touchscreens, which do occasionally leave something to be desired. Climate control functions are always on display, and the driver can reprogram audio system volume and tracks from the steering wheel. And of course you can use voice commands to enter a destination in the satellite navigation system. Navigate to 449 Punt Road, Cremorne, Victoria. There's also wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a wireless phone charger, digital radio, satellite navigation, keyless entry, and a reversing camera with a top-down 3D view to make parking a breeze. Volvo has been the gold standard for automotive safety since the 1970s, or even earlier. The XC40 now carries the baton for the brand, with more of everything a risk-averse driver would want from a car. As small as the XC40 is on the outside, the rear seat accommodation is really quite generous, even for adults up to 185 centimetres tall. There are climate control vents, map pockets and charging ports to keep the kids in the back entertained and comfortable. Despite another 150 kilowatt electric motor under the floor driving the rear wheels, the boot itself is quite large and useful. There's this underfloor storage additional to the boot itself, 4 luggage tie-down points, a couple of bag hooks and a ski port, because being a Swedish car after all, you need some way of stowing the skis and the stocks and still accommodate 4 people in the car. So that's what the Volvo XC40 Recharge Pure Electric is like as a safe and practical family wagon. But what's it like to drive? It's time to find out. As with most EVs, the XC40 is super docile for commuting or the odd trip down to the shops. Plant the foot, however, and it is an absolute rocket. With a motor driving each axle and prodigious output, acceleration and traction are top-notch. For a car that looks this unassuming, its straight-line performance is startling. The ride comfort of the XC40 suits open road touring, but it's far from harsh. In fact, the chassis tune for the Volvo is a nice balance of compliance and cornering ability. At lower speeds, the XC40 springs and dampers iron out larger bumps, but owners will feel some impact harshness over sharp-edged potholes. The noise in the cabin of the XC40 is largely limited to wind and road noise. There's almost nothing to be heard from the powertrain at touring speeds, although the suspension can be a little bit noisy over bumps. There's a downside to owning a small SUV that can keep up with large displacement V8s, the question of efficiency. Officially, the XC40 burns through electrons at a significantly higher rate than the Mercedes-Benz EQA 250, which is its closest competitor. That's the penalty one pays for supercar performance and all-wheel drive traction. Furthermore, it will cost owners more for electricity over the course of a year, nearly $1,100 for the Volvo or under $700 for the Mercedes. But that aside, the Volvo XC40 Recharge Pure Electric is a safe package, also bringing high levels of comfort and practicality to eco-aware consumers who also want some performance to match the green credentials. Volvo offers a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty on the XC40 Recharge Pure Electric. Every new EV that takes to the roads in Australia delivers better value, better performance and better efficiency than its peers, and the Volvo XC40 Recharge Pure Electric is no exception. Who would have thought just a few short months after Mercedes-Benz launched the EQA in Australia, there'd be another small electric SUV entering the market and offering even more promise? Yet that is exactly what Volvo has done with the XC40 Recharge Pure Electric.